Hi guys, and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be trying out the brand new Dior. This is the Rouge Colour and Glow. People were referring to these as the blush duos when these were, well, I saw the first promo photos on Instagram. These have been released in New Zealand and in Australia. They were put up on their website. It was about the middle of last week. I ordered 3 of them. There are 6 in total. 4 are actually called the Blush and Glows, and there's 2 also called the Contour and Glows, but there are 6 in total. So I've picked up 3, 2 of the Blush and Glows and 1 Contour and Glow, although just from looking at it, I haven't tried them out yet, but with the Contour and Glow, I'm thinking for me, the shade that I got is probably going to be more like bronze and glow. It's probably going to be a very light bronzer. So before we get into those, I am going to put on the brand new Dior foundation. I did a video on this just a few days ago. It's called the Dior Forever Skin Perfect, and it is the foundation stick. I've already done my skincare and I've already put primer on as well. So I'm not going to go into too much detail about this foundation stick, as I did a dedicated video on it alongside with the contour stick as well. And in that video, as well as going into more detail, I also show it in natural light as well and wear it for a minimum of 8 hours. Now, what I can say about this is that I have worn it every day since that video and I just absolutely love it. Those of you that haven't seen my other videos, I am 54 years old, I have mature skin, and I also have oily skin as well. So the foundation stick, it just twists up and you can feel it twist up each little step, which I think is really good. So I'm just going to turn it up 2 steps. Now the shade that I've got is 2.5N. So I'm just going to quickly put it a little bit on the left side of my face first, and I'm going to blend that in. I'm just going to grab a foundation brush. I'm going to use a Sonia G one. I love the way that this gives a blurring effect to my skin. It's just absolutely beautiful. And it gives a beautiful glow as well, but in no way does it go greasy. It's just really, really gorgeous. And I'm really pleased with the shade that I got. As I said, it's 2.5N. That's the usual shade that I have in Dior foundations. You never know when they come out with a new product. The shade that you normally wear could be a little bit out, but it actually goes really well. So if you are, once these are released, and hopefully it's not too far away in the US and elsewhere, if you're interested in this, whatever shade you are in a Dior liquid foundation, you will be in this foundation stick as well. So all the foundation is on and I just think it's just absolutely beautiful. So now off camera, I'm going to put on concealer. I'll put on some eye makeup as well, do my eyebrows, powder my face. So now let's take a look at these new Dior Rouge Blush Colour and Glows. This is the packaging that it comes in. There is 8 grams of product. It is made in Italy and these have a shelf life of 12 months from date of opening. And on the back is the list of the ingredients. Now I have taken a photo of that and I'll put this up now so you can pause and take a look and see whether there's any ingredients that you might not want in your makeup product. And here is the packaging of the blushes themselves, and you'll note that the Dior writing, the logo on the front, it isn't in all capitals like most of the new Dior products, but I did have a look at the batch code that's on these and these were manufactured this year. I was just a little bit concerned because it's the old style logo with the upper letter and the 3 lowers without it being all uppercase, but they were definitely manufactured this year. And you just press it in to open up the product. So as I mentioned at the start of this video, I picked up 3 of these. I have ordered the other 3. There are 6 in total, but 4 are called the Blush and Glows and 2 are called the Contour and Glow. So first of all, I'll show you. This is number 287 and this is Diorarmour. And this is described as a matte powdery pink blush and a shimmering lilac highlighter. Next we have Dioriviiera. This is number 257 and this is a matte pink blush and a shimmering rosy gold highlighter. And the third one that I've got, this is number 100, and this is called Diorissimo, and this is described as a matte taupe contour and a gold highlighter, and this is for light to very light skin. So the other three products that I have ordered, and they'll probably be here either today or tomorrow. Number 457 Dorit, which is a matte coral blush and a shimmering peachy gold highlighter. Then there's 757, and that's Wool Dior, and that's a matte plum blush and a shimmering gold highlighter. And then there's one more, a contour and glow, and that's number 200, and that's Diorarmour, and that's a matte brown color and a bronze highlighter for medium to dark skin. So I'll just quickly go through the description that Dior gives these Rouge blushes, both the Colour and Glow and also the Contour and Glow. They say the Rouge Blush Colour and Glow is the duo palette in matte and glow finishes by Dior. In a single step, the powder textures blend seamlessly with the skin for a blush and glow or contour and glow effect, depending on the chosen harmony. Each multi-use Rouge Blush Colour and Glow face palette pairs two shades, one matte shade with buildable intensity to add colour and structure, and one highlighter shade which is infused with multi-dimensional pearlescent pigments to bathe the face in spectacular light. Among these colour duos designed to create a multitude of looks, the blush and glow shades can be used to enhance the complexion, while the contour and glow shades are designed for contouring for a natural finish. They say the powders are infused with gel to create a soft, fine texture that blends seamlessly with the skin for a weightless finish. Long wearing, they ensure a feeling of comfort. So as I haven't put on any bronzer yet, I'm going to start off with the Contour and Glow, and that one is 100, and that is Diorissimo. So this is the 100, and in fairness, they do say on the website that this is for very light to light skin, whereas mine's more light towards medium. Now, the other one is actually very dark, and they say that's for medium to dark skin tones. So I do think this one will be really beautiful as a bronzer, and I also think it would be really beautiful as a blush as well. But I have pulled out a few bronzers from my drawer, more of the lighter ones that I have, just so we can take a look at the swatches of this and then just compare it to some other lighter bronzers that I have. Like I said, they do say this is a contour. When I look at this, I think this is more of a bronzer. I do think it is really beautiful though. So first of all, I'm going to swatch this on my arm. So it is quite light, and I'm just going to go over that again. So I've got the Tom Ford one, and this is in Terra. This is quite a light one, but this is a really beautiful bronzer. So I just want to see them side by side. So this is the Tom Ford in Terra. And then I've also got the Marc Jacobs one. This is in Tantric. So I'll swatch that one as well. And then I've also got the bronzer that was released earlier this year by Dior. And this is the lighter shade in pink bronze. So I'm just swatching the bronze part down there. I'm not going into the pink, and we'll take a look at that. And I have got the Chantecaille in Goa because I just wanted to show you the difference with the depths. So this one's going to be a lot darker, but just so you can take a look at that. So we've got Chantecaille in Goa. So you can see how deep Goa is compared to the Contour and Glow. Then I've got the Hermes one, and this is in the shade 02 in Atlas. So that is very light. I'll actually go over that again. Just get a decent swatch so we can just compare it. So I'll just go over the Hermes one again. So that is very, very light. It's more like this one here. A little bit deeper than that one. And finally, I've got a Victoria Beckham. This is the Bronzing Brick, and this one is in the shade. This is in 02. So I'm just going to go over the side here, and we'll take a look at that one. So I'll just go over them. This is the new Dior Rouge blush, the Contour and Glow. Next is the Tom Ford. Then we've got the Marc Jacobs. Then we've got the recent Dior bronzer that was released earlier this year. Then we've got the Chantecaille and Goa. Then we've got Hermes in the shade Atlas. And then finally the Victoria Beckham bronzer brick, and that's in shade 02. So if you compare the one that I'm trying out today, the Dior Rouge Blush Contour and Glow, compared to this one and this one, it's definitely cooler than the Dior one that was released earlier this year, and it's cooler than the Hermes one. And although they say it is a contour, which it could well be for someone with very light skin, I think it's going to make a really beautiful bronzer. And now I'm just going to swatch this on the back of my hand and also the highlighter part as well. So you can take a look at that, and I'll swatch the highlighter next to it. Now these highlighters are lovely. They're not chunky or glittery. They just have this really beautiful sparkle in them. So that is the contour part, and here is the highlight. So let's try this out. I'm going to use the Sonia G first of all. This is the Jumbo Bronzer Brush, and see how this goes. So I'm just going to swirl it in here and just using it as a bronzer. Now I did try out one of the blushes. I think it was yesterday, just for a minute. I didn't have a really good go with it, and I found that it is quite light with the pickup, but they are buildable, just like they say on the website. So this is, it's fairly subtle, but like I was saying, they do say it is for a very light complexion, more towards light, where, as I said, I head more towards medium. But this isn't a contour for me. This is definitely more of a bronzer, but I think it's really beautiful. So as a bronzer, this is very subtle, but I do think it looks really beautiful. I think it's gorgeous. Now, I probably won't use this today, this highlight, because I want to show you the other two blushes, one on each cheek, and I want to show you those highlights. So I don't want to get the highlights mixed up. But this is a very beautiful, it's a lovely gold, but it's not too yellow. I think it's just absolutely gorgeous. Now, I had to go over a few times using the Sonia G. This is the Jumbo Bronzer. Maybe if I use something like the Niji Pro, possibly it will pick up a little bit more. So I'm just going to go over with this brush, and it just picks up just a little bit more. And I can see that, although I'm layering on top of what I've already got, but it definitely picks up more of the product. But I quite like a product that you can lay down and then you can build up if you want to, because sometimes if you pick up too much pigment at once, for me, I just like more of a very natural type of bronze look. I know this is supposed to be a contour, but I think it works really well as a bronzer, and it blends out just absolutely beautifully. So now let's take a look at the blushes. First of all, I'm going to put on, this is number 287, and this is Diorarmour, and this is the one with the pink and also this really beautiful lilac highlighter. I'm going to use the Rapha number 24 brush. This is quite a dense brush for putting on blush, because this blush here is very, very light and it is buildable, but it does still stay quite sheer. So I've swatched the blush and the highlight on my arm. Now they are very light, and with my skin tone, I don't know how well that you're going to see that. I turned down the light a little bit in front of me, and I'm just looking on the monitor, and I think you can just see it. I think it's very beautiful, but it is very light. This is a really gorgeous, it's a baby pink, and the lilac highlighter is just beautiful. So I'm going to put this on my left side, and I'm going to use the Rapha number 24. This blush brush is very soft, but it's also quite dense, and I think this may be really good for putting on this blush. So I'll give it a good swirl in the pan, and that's how it picks up. Now, I don't know whether I mentioned it, but these do have a fragrance. It's just that typical Dior fragrance that they put in their other products. But if you don't like fragrance in your products, then you won't like this. But I think it's quite subtle. I don't find it overpowering in any way. It's not like the Guerlain fragrance where they can be quite overpowering. I don't know if you can hear it, but there is a really, really noisy bird outside. So you can see that it is really sheer. And it is buildable to a degree, but it still just stays really, really soft. So it depends whether you like that or not, or whether you'd like a bit more pigment. But I think it is a really gorgeous shade. Very sheer, very subtle, but I think it is beautiful. Now we'll put on this highlighter, and again I'm going to use a Riffle brush. This is the number 18. So I'm just swiping through the highlighter, and I'm just going to put some on the cheekbone, and that is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful shade. That is gorgeous. Now, I also think you could put them both together and put them on at the same time, just between the two, using your brush to begin with. But that highlighter is gorgeous. And there's no fallout. As I was saying, it's not glittery. It's just got that sparkle in it. Really, really beautiful. So let's try the next one. And this is number 257. This is Dioriviiera. And this is a pink as well, but again, a lot deeper than the one that I just put on. And this highlight here is supposed to be a rosy gold. So I'll swatch these on my arm. So here is the blush. And again, it's quite sheer initially. And you can see a bit more with the second swatch over the top. So definitely a lot more pink in than this one here. You can see this one really is a baby soft pink, whereas this one has got more pigment. And here is the highlight that goes with it. And I'll just go over that again. And I've just wiped down the Riffle brush on my cloth in front of me, and we'll go into this shade. Now this one is a little bit more powdery. When I dip the brush in, you can see a little bit more powder kick up, and you can see straight away just more pigment. But they do go on really, really beautifully. I'm just going to put a little bit more on. But you definitely get a lot more payoff with this shade compared to that shade there. This one is a lot cooler than this shade here. And now I'll just go into the highlighter. And again, just pop some on my cheekbone. So you can see on this one, it's got that really beautiful sparkle. And if you go over it, it buffs in really beautifully. But no fallout, not chunky, not glittery. Just this really, really beautiful sparkle. I think it's really gorgeous. So I'm not sure which one I like better. If I was going for a more cooler makeup look, then I think this is really beautiful. But I think this shade is really gorgeous too. It just depends which one you prefer. But absolutely gorgeous. So it's not that you can't pick up pigment or anything like that with this shade here. It's just that it is a very, very soft shade. This one has more depth, and I just went into it twice using the brush, and that's the pickup that you get. What I'll do just to show you is I will go in one more time just to see whether this can be built up anymore. I like it like this, but some people might want it to be built up just a little bit more. So you can definitely go in and build it up if you want to. And you can still see that highlight through, even though I've gone over with the blush. So like I was saying, you could go between the two and put them on like that, or you could even go in with the brush, put the highlight on first and then go over with the blush, and you get possibly more of a lit from within glow. But I think they are really beautiful. So now I'm just going to pop on some lipstick and I'll be back and give you my final thoughts. Okay, so lipstick is on, and what I thought I would do before I wrap this video up is I'm going to go back into this palette here, and I'm going to use this Lilac highlighter. I'm going to put that just over through here, over the eyeshadow that I've got, and just see how it looks on the eyes. I've got in front of me, it's the BK Beauty Angie Hot and Flashy brush. This is the A505. So we'll just go into that, and I just want to see what this looks like on the eye. And I think it's gorgeous. It looks really pretty over the eyeshadow that I already had. I think it's really gorgeous. So you can definitely use these over your eyeshadow as well, and just to give it that little bit of a lift. And I think it looks really, really pretty. So my thoughts on this collection so far, like I said, I am getting 3 more. I'm getting, there is a coral shade, there's also that beautiful plum shade, and I'm also getting the deeper in the contour as well, and we'll see what those are like. They will appear a lot more pigmented on my cheeks, and I'd probably have to go a lot more careful with them. So we'll start off with what they call the contour and glow, and that is, I think that was called Diorissimo. Yes, that one's called Diorissimo. I think this is too light for me to use as a contour, but I do think it is beautiful as a bronzer, and I think both together, if you dip them in both together and then also use that a bronzer, you would get this really beautiful glow. If you just wanted a matte bronze, then just use this shade. But if you wanted a little bit more glow, then I think they would work really well together. And even though they do say it is a contour, as I was saying, they do say that it is for very light to light skin. But even then, I'm wondering how well it would work as a contour to give that contoured look. Probably still more appropriate as a bronzer. But in any event, I do think the shade is just absolutely gorgeous. And I do think if you're going for a very neutral, soft makeup look, it would also work just beautifully as a blush as well. The 2 blushes that I've picked up so far are really beautiful. Now this is very soft, this one. This is that baby pink with that lilac highlight, but together I just think they look absolutely beautiful. It gives a very soft, cooler look and just gorgeous. This pink here is really beautiful. It is more pigmented than this one. Both of the highlighters are lovely, not chunky, not glittery, just this really beautiful sparkle. They blend out really beautifully and they feel very smooth when I swatch them, and they go on really well. I just think they are gorgeous, and I'm really looking forward to trying out the new ones once they arrive. And the foundation stick is just gorgeous. I think it makes my skin look absolutely beautiful. It says that it blurs a bit, and I think that it does. It's really lovely, and I'm thrilled that it works so well with my oily skin. I was a bit worried when it came to a foundation stick with oily skin. Some of them can end up going a little bit too greasy, but so far, like I said, I wore this every day since that initial video that I did, and so far so good. It wears and looks absolutely beautifully. Now, I did mention that these blushes and also the contours and the foundation stick, these have been released in New Zealand and also in Australia on the Dior website. These are not yet available in the US, and I haven't seen them elsewhere through Europe either, but I will keep my eye on it, and as soon as I see that they are up in other countries, I will let you know on the community post and also on my Instagram stories. So that's it for today's video. I would love it if you gave it a like and subscribed, and I will see you next time. Bye.